Analysis on the factors that contribute to the student satisfaction on online courses at Mapua University. The presenters are Latayan Rizal Joy E. and Padilla Chelsea Luis D. Introduction. While the society are at varying points in their COVID-19 infection rates, billion children are currently affected by school closures in 186 countries worldwide due to the pandemic. With for this panic decision away from the classroom in many regions of the world, some wonder if acceptance of online learning would continue to exist post-pandemic and whether such a change will affect the global educational market.
For the results and discussion, the major finding of this research is the relationship of personal characteristic and student characteristic in online learning to the satisfaction level. In personal characteristic versus satisfaction level, most of the interpretation had moderate satisfaction. Some variable had low satisfaction like in the location, program, and online courses taken. Also, only one variable had a high satisfaction, and it is under the program variable, which is the CHE. So for this part, almost all of the variable had a moderate satisfaction. There is a variable that got high and low satisfaction, and they are both under the network provided. In the survey, there are 4 parts, and part A is the student profile. So out of 200 respondents, 51% of them are male students and 49% are female. With the location, more than half of the students live in NCR, followed by Region 4A with 26%. This graph shows the program of the students who took the survey. So as we can see, the students who answered the survey are mostly from the Department of Industrial Engineering, which has a total of 101 students. Aside from that, the only program that exceeds to 25 students that answered the survey are computer engineering students. These two graphs are the number of students who have taken math and non-math online courses. In the first graph, 127 out of 200 students responded that they only have one online math course enrolled for this fourth term. While in the second graph, most of the students have more than 5 non-math online courses this term. Part B is the student characteristic in online learning. So this graph is the most preferred learning style by Mapuan students. Based on the graph, the student learns best through visual that has 24.5%. It is the use of pictures and images, followed by verbal which has 20%, and both social and logical had 14%. This only shows that oral is not quite effective in most of the students when it comes in learning style. These two graphs is connected to each other. The first graph is the frequency of the most preferred delivery in mathematics courses, while the second is the assessment of the three delivery when it comes to class performance. In the first graph, 114 students choose the traditional, which is the face-to-face. This means that in taking a mathematics course, the most effective way of teaching is through face-to-face. In the second graph, among the three delivery, 88 responded that their performance is above average in the traditional, while the lowest is fully online that has 43 students who responded. Since in the first graph, many of the students preferred traditional in taking mathematics course, then this only shows that this affects the results in the second graph, in which the performance level of the students is above average when the setup is traditional. The first graph shows the kind of online learning activity that always used by the professor. 163 students chose the always option, With this, 73 students selected that their professor uses synchronous teaching, which is a mix of face-to-face online communication and live stream lecture. So for the second graph, this is the response of the students to the question, does your professor implement self-paced learning? 72.5% answered yes, while 27.5% answered no. The pie graph shows the network provider that the respondents use. As we can see, 43.0% of them are PLDT users, followed by Globe with 19.5% and Smart with 11%. In the second graph, this is the result on the students who answered the question, when do you usually do your online class activities? The time period that Mapuans prefer to do their online activities are in the evening, that has a percentage of 45%, and only 19.5% answered that they prefer to do it in the morning.
The whole study was designed to assess student satisfaction in Mapua University's online classes. An online poll was carried out to gather the data needed. The research's basic aims were to define students' level of satisfaction with factors such as the use of discussion board, timeliness and relevance, teaching practices, and evaluation of online experiences. The findings of this study will help school administration in developing online classes that would improve students' interactive online experience.